If I could go back to my 20s, I would do 5 things differently. I know I can't go back in time. This is my story, I've written it, but it's not yours. So take this opportunity to think about these aspects and make changes to your life if you see yourself making the same mistakes I did. Today, I'm 31 years old and I have a completely different vision of life than I had when I was 20. Many things happened and I've learned a lot. First thing I should have done differently is that I should have stressed less. I put a lot of pressure on myself to do everything beyond expectations, to do everything better. And that's mainly because of my lack of self-confidence. I didn't understand that I had to enjoy the journey. I was always thinking up front. I thought I was enjoying it, but I was actually stressing out about every single thing. And luckily that changed in my early 20s. So when I was 23, 24, when I left my home country, Brazil, and I moved abroad, that's when my mind opened to new things and I realized that I wouldn't be able to live those experiences again in my life. So I started to enjoy more and I became a much calmer person because of that. So stress less and try to enjoy the journey because you're only going to be in your 20s once in your life. And this moment is going to pass. And it's an amazing moment to have so much energy to do everything that you want. I still have a lot of energy, but it's different. Yeah, when you're young, you kind of have the excuse of like making big mistakes and then trying again and restarting lots of things in your life. Another thing is that I should have spent less energy trying to maintain relationships. And I'm speaking here mostly of friendships because I moved many times from one city to another. So I had friends and I knew people from all over the place. And I was putting a lot of effort trying to keep friendships that were just not happening. I was feeling that I was pulling more than my weight to keep those friends while the person on the other side was not so invested. And it took me a really long time to realize that I was doing that and I was not only wasting my time, but wasting my energy. I was feeling left out. I don't know. I was feeling tired of trying to keep my friends and keep those people that were special and they're not special anymore. So it took me a long time, but then I started to change my attitude and change my behavior towards those people that didn't mean much. And my life is much lighter now because now I know who my real friends are and who the people that I know are. And that's a big difference between these two. The third thing that I would have done differently was that I would have kept exercising. Yes, working out. I've always been a very active person since I was a child, but then when I left my parents' home when I was 18, I kind of paused it and I stopped exercising for roughly 3 years, but all of the consequences were really bad because this is a period whenever you're going through a big change in your life, yeah, it's a period that you need a escape valve. And if you have a healthy escape valve, that's the best thing you can do. And I left my escape valve of exercising. And I know that if I had kept working out, I would have avoided lots of anxiety that I felt during that period. We all know that exercise is great for you, is great for your body, but also for your mind. And that would have been a big difference. Yeah, and I regret stopping doing that because that was the moment I had depression and everything. I'm not saying that I wouldn't have had depression if I had kept exercising, but it would have helped me for sure. Maybe not to go down so fast, to have hope in my heart and to love myself somehow because my self-esteem during that period plummeted because of other personal problems that I was going through. So if you're in your 20s, it's one of the best advices I can give you. Never, never stop exercising. Keep working out, keep taking care of your body, taking care of yourself so that you keep your self-esteem high and you can handle your problems much, much better. Number 4 is that I should have meditated often. I meditated for the first time when I was a teenager, around 13 to 15 years old. I don't remember exactly. And I used to do it sporadically. I liked it. It was a method that I enjoyed at the moment. But this happened like once a week or, hey, Electra. or it happened once in 3 months or in 6 months, and then I stopped doing it. And I came back to meditation and made it as a habit for the past 10 months. Currently, I meditate almost daily, and it's been a great change in my life. And I think that meditation is the best tool that you have for self-discovery, for self-knowledge, to know yourself, to know your feelings, and to separate what you feel with what the other people feel and what the world is giving you. And when you're young, in your 20s, lots of things are happening. Yeah, you probably just left college and you probably got your first job. You know a lot of new people during this period. Meditating is going to help you separate, and it's going to help you like think through yourself and to know yourself better, because the world is going to throw at you lots of new things that you've never done before, like new experiences and new places that you're going to be. Meditating helps us remember who we are and what we want in life. You just need to find the type of meditation that resonates with you, because there are so many types of meditations out there, so many methods. And if you're considering new methods, I recommend Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations. They are great. Dr. Joe's great, and he has certainly changed my life. And lastly, I should have asked more questions, both in the work environment and also in the personal life. In the work environment, I was really insecure because I was young and I didn't want to show the people that I didn't know how things worked. So I kept all of the questions to myself, and I avoided asking people if I didn't know how something worked. And that was one of the biggest mistakes I've ever done in my career. But I know this was a mistake, and I changed it in the past years. I changed it, and I know how this transformed because I figure out a lot of stuff. Yeah. And in the personal life also. Yeah, it's really nice when we ask people how they got to a certain point in their life. But I felt that I was like invading their privacy, or that I was being inconvenient asking questions. So I just kept quiet, even when I was curious to know more about someone's life. And today I realized actually people love to tell their stories. They love to talk about themselves. It would have been really nice if I had asked them those questions that I wanted to know, because they were really interesting people from different places, different countries. So I lost this opportunity, but from now on, I know what I need to do, and I know that people like to get back to you. They like to tell you those stories. Right, these were the 5 main things I would have done differently if I could. What about you? If you're in your 20s, have you been doing any of these things and now you consider changing? And if you're in your 30s, just like me, or older, what were the biggest mistakes that you did in your 20s? I'm curious to know. Tell me in the comments. If you like this video, remember to click the like button and to subscribe to the channel. It's gonna be great to have you around. Thank you, and see you very soon.